So today's podcast is about video is about the idea of how the ironical story of no room at the end. And I heard it heard to me said today, the idea of an inn. So people who don't know Jesus, but we're in a manger, not in an inn, is the ideas of our old belief systems and powers, struggles that we struggle with every day, that are still blocking us from finding what's going on inside of our quote manger scene. I don't want to get too spiritual religious on this because I have people who watch this who are not. But it struck me of like our creator inside of us wasn't born so we could have prestige and power. He was born so we could have a new way of living, a new understanding of creation, and a new way to be changed. And when it struck me, it was like, wow, we could be like the shepherds and wise men of our lives and follow, as I said before, follow a star that we don't know where it's going to guide us, but we know it's the truth inside of us. Or we could be like some of the kings and people who think, well, my intelligence is going to get me by. Intelligence is a great thing. Do not get me wrong here. But look where intelligence is leading us now. It's leading us to fight about, well, I don't agree with you on this issue, so therefore I'm not going to talk to you anymore. We become victims of our own stories, like, well, that traumatized me. And what I'm learning is, what if we want to fill our minds with things that we don't need to? I'm just guilty for this, but we don't need to. And instead, we should fill our hearts with unconditional love. There's a theory for you. The whole story of the message of the birth inside of all of us is unconditional love for other people and other things, and staying away from the unconventional mechanism we use to get power and prestige. Why do we want power and prestige? We want it because it makes us look good inside. We think it will. I said I've done this. I've been there. We want to look good and make ourselves look good, impress people, and say, "Look at us." But deep down inside, we are struggling because we know that's not us. I think our mangers, the inner smallness is that our creator wasn't born inside the power and prestige. It wasn't born in being wealthy. We're not going to see something, oh, this is right, we have money now. All that stuff's good. But what if we found our rebirth inside of us? What if, for the first time in a long time, we discovered the thing that we're missing is inside? And everything else we gave away and saw the journey was all along. And you can still have, you know, that other side. You can still have those, be that king and be that shepherd, and you can still see the light and follow your star. But letting go of what the world wants you to be. I've been there, man. I still struggle with that today. It's one of my struggles. Even today, it's like letting go of what the world wants me to be. I'm just being me. There's anger there. There's frightenedness. There's frightening thought of, ooh, what the hell? Shit, in a bad way. And I was like, but yet, coming to the place of joy in the journey, watching it happen. Loving another person even though you disagree with that person sometimes, is the best way to go, because you can love somebody. And what happens to those people you can't love unconditionally? Your family, your friends. You have to come to that point where you can let them go, but still be in their lives sometimes. Sometimes you can't be in their lives. It really depends on the situation. I'm kind of coming to that point with some people. It's just like, wow, okay, where do we do the work now? Where do we find that recognitional point in our hearts where it's like the division that we've always had of evil thoughts versus good thoughts, and that division of our lower selves and upper selves, and taking a deep breath and going, it's okay to have both. It's okay to feel, like you said, don't be afraid of the dark. I said before, don't be afraid of the dark. The dark is a scary place, but so is being in the light. But the dark teaches us so much about the light. And, to be to follow our star, the star inside of us, and to shine our beacon, and to shine our lantern, and to see that the cave isn't so scary anymore. It's a powerful message for anybody, not just Christmas, Easter, whatever it is, whatever holiday you celebrate. Hanukkah has a lot of lights in it. The idea of following the light, finding the truth of who you are, shutting old ideas that don't make any sense anymore. And, following the wanderless star. And I mean, think about that. Think about being a shepherd in those days. Or anything. You see a star. You look up there going, wow, I gotta follow that. That's really scary. I had no one knew what's going on, but they did it anyway. So why can't we do that? Why can't we follow our inner hearts? Because sometimes we have fear. Fear blocks us from following our path. Why? Because we're so afraid. I'm just the same way. We're so afraid of what people think or do, or how we're going to do, or how we're going to act. When in reality, all we have to do is let go and do the work that we have to do to let go of the fear. Whatever it is, or the trauma. Not change the chapter. Stop being the victim, but be the hero of our story. It's our creation story. Nobody else made our story. And that's the thing about it is, it's our creation story. We can make it the inn, we can make it the manger, we can make it the way we want to. But yet, we can follow the star. I share a story that I said about the footprints in the snow, and one of the things that triggered it was I figured about my high school life. I haven't been back in a long time, but I remember studying as a kid in 10th, 9th, 11th grade, whatever it was, and thinking that the class I was in with the autism program I was in, we were the guinea pigs. We created this path for other students ahead of me could go to that high school and be an autistic person. And I had some tough teachers. And I think about that every once in a while when I'm in a bad mood, and I think about we planted a seed there. And that seed is still there. The different teachers, the different students, some don't even know who I am, probably. But that seed was planted. And that's the miracle. If I go back and think about those seeds were planted, and some of those seeds stick, and some of those seeds don't stick. But the point is that you keep moving forward, and you keep following that star no matter what happens. And the darkness and the light, because it's still there. And even you may alter a few paths, and you might go follow that path, but don't follow the real path because they tell you to follow that path. Don't, choose riches and wealth, and choose the path that makes you feel self. And that stuff happens along the way. That's fine. Pray for abundance. Pray for that stuff. But stick true to your creation story. Stick true to what you believe is the truth in you. And let go of ancestral drama and passion and your ancestral stories and the stories of your family tell you that you can only be this or this or this. That's the hardest part, letting go of ancestral baggage that you think you need to carry, or whatever baggage you need to carry. Stop carrying that. I'm working on it. Stop carrying that story that you carry, that you're not worth whatever. And if you still struggle with that, I'm 42 and you're older than me. From 43, if you're older than me and you're still carrying that, let it go. Know that by truly, truly loving yourself, that's the path. And you will find that the path keeps coming towards you, and you'll see things in a different way when you shed the old ideas. And you will see that your life will have meaning again. But it's going to take time. And you're going to struggle. You're going to stumble. You're going to fall. But those are the lessons. And you will come to the truth. And you will see what you need to know. And that's the beauty part. When you come to your inner manger scene and you see the changes. And you see the light. And you see the light come brighter and brighter. And you start not seeing the negatives anymore. And you see the positives. That's what this story is about. It's about us and how we follow that one path. Thank you. Have a great day.